Yes, people. So today's video, we're going to talk to you how to play as an 8 in non-league football. Let's go. So majority of people who are looking at this and thinking, well, I don't want to know how to play as an 8 in non-league. My friend, if you're playing professional football in an academy right now, there is a 90% chance that you will end up having to drop down and play non-league if you're not offered a pro deal. And if you are offered a pro deal, and you need to go and get an experience going out on loan, then your parent club may send you down to their other affiliate club in a League Two or a Conference League. And guess what? Just because they sent you there doesn't mean the gaffer has to play you. You understand? I know so much boys who went from playing League One to play Step 3 and they couldn't even dominate or impose themselves in the game because the way that the game was played, they're not used to it. So never despise and think, oh, I'm a pro player or I'm a pro academy player. I don't need to know about this. Your fate may be here. And it's not a bad thing because we've seen boys go and play non-league and end up pros. But always make sure you know how to play this style of football. So let's go straight into the video on how to play as a box-to-box midfielder. Yeah, so the box-to-box position, before I even go and talk about the sort of stuff that you've got to be able to do, I'm just going to let you know in terms of what is going to allow you to be considered very early without even playing for the gaffer. Number one is physically, you need to be a specimen. Gaffers like midfielder, sorry, box to box, that is going to be typically 6 foot plus. If you're a 6 footer and you've got lungs and you can run, you more or less got the job done. I played in this position for Basingstoke. I'll never forget when I was 17, and I was near enough, nowhere near fit to play in this position. I was blowing out of every hole in my body because, as the word says, box to box, you've got to be here and you've got to be able to be here, box to box. Literally, you've got to be comfortable going edge of the boxes to edge of the boxes. And depending sometimes on your tactical play, you may have to go and do a third run beyond the striker. So let's get this underlined is that if you can't run and you haven't got particularly the height, but you can run, that may compensate. And I'll tell you why. You may say, oh, that's not true. If you look at majority of non-league box-to-box players, they're probably standing between minimum 5'10", minimum 5'10", 5'11". Ideally, if the guy can get someone at 6'1", 6'2" that can play this position, he would go after that than anyone that's 5'7", and that's technical. Because the game, the way it's played, is very fast. There's be loads of balls over the top. So number one thing is the height. The first thing in terms of tactically, you've got to be able to know how to be able to ball recover. So ball recovery is used in these positions because the fact that if the 10 loses the ball or whatever, you're able to there to cover. There's no such thing as, all right, I want to play just typically on this side. You've got to have instincts to come over and support. Literally, if you go down and you may think, oh, that's not true, you got to stay on the left side, go down and watch the Step 3 Ramen Premier game. And you will see particularly that wherever side it is, I'm not trying to say the left back's going to come over here, but I'm saying that this guy here will most likely come over to help and how it is, and this guy will tuck in like that. Like literally, you got to go down to games and watch. And this is why the language and the way it's played at non-league is a lot more different. Spaces are not, there's not a lot of space, even though the pitch is big in midfield. It's very congested and it's a fight. So ball recovery is number one. Number two, you got to be able to do third man runs beyond the striker and the winger. So if the ball being built up here, let's say the winger gets the ball right here, you got to be able to sometimes run in beyond this guy and create an overload. Like you gotta understand the engine that you got to have to play in this position is immense. It's not a joke. So that's number two. Number three as well. Typically, looking where I am, you can see that you got to be able to combined with your fullback and particularly in these positions, wherever side you're going to be staying on. So if I'm on this side, I'll go be able to look at the triangle combined with my left winger and my left back. And in terms of flick-ons as well, positionally, you want to make sure that you can see a triangle in terms of where you want to be positioned. So if you can see here, there's a triangle between these guys here. So let me just quickly, before I finish the video, to show you this. So there's a triangle here, there's a triangle here, like here, and the same thing happens on this side here as well. Triangle between you and the 10 as well, and the 8. And typically this happens when you are looking for loose balls. I always used to play against guys who are big belly or not as fit as me, but they always knew where to stood or stand when it comes to flick-ons, and that's the key. Is you got to know where to stand on flick-ons. And typically the ball's on this side, and you see your wingers tucked in there. You want to position yourself in around these areas to potentially know where the ball's can be coming and where you can recover, because you're marking space when you're attacking. And that's another thing I'll talk about in another video. Same thing on this side. So let me know what other positions you want me to do. Hope you understand, and let's keep going.